Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over 5 mining farms updated. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so since the markets have actually dropped as it's near the end of the expansion, and a lot of people are actually trying to scramble enough gold together to get their Brutosaurs, a lot of the prices have dropped. Now that being the case, I have now reviewed all of the different types of necessary farms on a load of different servers and pretty much seeing which ones are actually still good and which ones are pretty bad overall. So we got a general gist on which farms are actually performing quite well even now. So that being the case, let's run into number 1, which is SARONITE ore. Now this one can actually be farmed up within Wintergrasp, and if you've been watching me for quite a while, this is my favourite farm in order to do. This one's the most easiest, it's the most reliable, and I always vouch for this farm. This is because no matter what expansion, this is time and time again proven to be one of my favourite and most reliable farms in order to do. Because I know that I'm going to get my gold and it's going to be fairly the same amount as which I actually gathered it up at. So that being the case, titanium ore or SARONITE ore, depends on what you want to actually do, is primarily one of my favourite farms, and it also is one of the best performing, so I'm really glad to see this one on the list at this moment in time. That being the case, all you have to really do is fly around Wintergrasp in this type of motion, which is on the screen right now, or also you can also go into the Worth It add-on and also import your route for that, providing that you actually have the route add-on as well. Aside from all of that, the only thing that you will have to watch out for, however, is the dismounting of flying mounts. Now, you can get around this if you are on a druid in the sky and you get the debuff. All you have to do is press your travel form to come out of it and then repress it, and it gets rid of the debuff, and you can still fly around, and then you just do it every time you get the debuff. It's really that easy. It just becomes muscle memory after a while, so it's really easy in order to do. Just that little workaround actually helps rather a lot when it comes to your gold per hour. Now, however, I would actually say that you will not want to take any shortcuts with this route, as this route is just the right timing in order for the materials to actually respawn when you get around to the end. You do not want to take any shortcuts, otherwise you'll be overlapping yourself, and every 2 routes you'll be getting nodes, and instead of every 1 route you'll be getting nodes. So don't try and do this any faster than what it needs to be. Now, aside from that, let's move on to number 2, which is Fell Iron Ore. Now, this one is located within Terracar Forest, and that one is in Outland. All you have to really be doing is following the route on the screen right now, or going into Worth It and actually downloading and importing the route. The other thing that you will want to bear in mind, however, is you can actually get quite a lot of thorium ore, and from this you'll be able to get a decent amount of gold from that. Now, bear in mind that thorium ore is on an RNG basis, so you may not get it every time. So you may want to bear in mind when you actually go ahead and do this farm. This one actually gives you a nice little uptick as well when it comes towards your Fell Iron Ore farming. But not only that, you also get a wide variety of different other types of ores as well, such as Fell Iron Ore, thorium ore and adamantite. The lowest on the list usually is adamantite ore, and that one sells relatively okay. The main one that you will be going for is Fell Iron Ore, and the one you will be hoping for is thorium ore. Other than that, guys, let's move into number 3. Coming in at number 3 is Dark Iron Ore. This one has provided time and time again to be a reliable source of making gold with mining. All you have to really do is run into the Molten Core. Do not kill any of the bosses, and I mean do not kill any of the bosses. What you'll be wanting to do is running around and mining all of the nodes. Once you have done that, if you are on a druid, this is a great workaround. You can also dream walk in and out to reset the instance. Once you've reset the instance, just do that route again and then do that again after that. That makes it so much easier to make a load of gold when it comes towards your Dark Iron Ore, and it actually cuts down the time in which you're actually going to be doing this instead of running back to the entrance again. This makes it a lot easier in order to pull in a lot of different types of Dark Iron Ore, and over that you'll be making a lot of gold with that as well. The other thing of note that you can get, however, is Blood of the Mountain. Now this one doesn't really happen all that much, but it's a nice little uptick when it does. When you're actually mining the deposits, you can also get Blood of the Mountain. Now, other than that, if you actually kill some of the golems, which are actually in there, or the molten giants, or molten destroyers, whatever you want to call them, when you're actually running this, you can also pick up Bloods of the Mountain from them as well. I will actually put the actual monster's name on the screen right now because I can never remember the correct monster which actually drops it. But they'll be the ones that you'll be wanting to target for additional loot when you're actually doing this farm, because this is alongside that a Blood of the Mountain farm as well. From that, guys, let's move into number 4, which is thorium ore. Now, time and time again, thorium ore has provided a great value for your time invested. This is because you'll be running around Silithus in a circle, literally near on a circle, and it's the most easiest one in order to do. The barrier to entry for this farm is very, very minimal. All you really have to do is have basic mining and pretty much just fly around in a circle, mining all of the nodes. Now, other than that, the particular item that you will be getting is thorium ore, a lot of it, but other than that, you will also be getting a lot of arcane crystals. This is where the gold per hour from it actually really comes from. Now, these can actually be used in conjunction with thorium ore to be turned into thorium bars, and at a 1-to-1 ratio of thorium bar to arcane crystal can be turned into arcanite bars, providing you have an alchemist to actually do that. And then over that, you can increase your gold per hour as well. This is another way in order to actually utilize this different type of farm, and is a great way in order to maximize the amount of gold that you're going to be getting from this. Aside from that, you can also go a step further and turn those into enchanted elementium, as those ones tend to sell the fastest. The majority of the items that you'll be getting along with this is primarily a lot of arcanite bars, which will then can be turned into enchanted elementium, which can give you a better gold per hour for your time invested. Now, aside from that, this one is time and time again being utilised as a great method in order to make a decent amount of gold overall. And other than that, let's move into our last one on our list at number 5, which is, surprise surprise, actually iron ore. Now, looking at iron ore throughout the load of the other different types of servers that I've been looking at across the EU basis and the US, the thing of note that I will take into consideration, however, is iron ore. Now, iron ore can actually be found up within the Western Plaguelands, and the route is quite self-explanatory. It's basically running around the perimeter the majority of the time in order to pick up a load of the ores. Now, you can run this alongside herbalism, but the herbalism basis won't actually yield you that much extra per hour, so you really don't have to worry about having herbalism with it as well. It's just a nice little uptick. Now, the one thing I will do, however, is I would also have a Dark Moon Firewater in order to increase the amount you can actually get. This is because the nodes in vanilla areas are actually quite compact together, as they were designed originally for people who have mounts, who have ground mounts. So therefore, when you've got flying, you can pick more per hour, and the respawn rate's relatively fast within that. So using Dark Moon Firewater is a great way in order to increase the amount of materials you get in your hours worth of farming. Now, that being the case, iron ore can be turned into a wide variety of different types of transmogs, but also can be sold in the auction house for a pretty penny. Other than that, guys, that has been the most surprising one out of all of my little bit of research when I've been doing the resets for these types of videos, and iron ore surprisingly has been like one of the ones where I'm like, damn, really? It's surprise been one of the best farms in order to do. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the day. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.